He looks to help from others within the region. And President Chavez has done that. He has been a leader and he has helped other countries. But if we can combat speculation and keep the price down, all of this money that I mentioned in our presentation, $4.5 billion in 2008, we buy our oil, or Dominican Republic buys its oil from Venezuela. We're sending money, capital, to President Chavez so that he can send it back at a low interest rate. I would think that when we're talking about achieving the Millennium Development Goals, what all of your presidents would want is to keep that money at home and not send it to the Middle East, or not send it to other countries, or not sending it to other OPEC countries. We need to make investments at home, priority public investments for the Millennium Development Goals. I want to quickly read, nobody has really predicted this global financial crisis. Although some consider that they have predicted it, like Professor Nouriel Roubini of NYU, New York University, or George Soros, who's actually from this sector. George Soros has studied these bubbles, these speculative bubbles. And he said something, you all have a copy, but it's very important. He states that this global financial crisis was not created by external shocks, the hurricanes, the externalities. It was created from within the financial system. Now, this is a financier saying this. Instead of correctly using available knowledge, financial markets always distort reality. Markets reflect reality because markets actually shape reality. And this is why markets are so good at predicting the future. Markets are good because it is they that shape the future. There is no relationship between the price of an asset and its values. This is George Soros. If you don't agree with this, talk to him. But this is a testament to a financier, an entrepreneur, a businessman on the inside. To finish up and respond to Professor Nisanki and Uganda's comments on regulation, Professor Nisanki asked, how should we regulate? And would too much regulation thwart the price discovery function? It's important that everyone knows why speculation exists. Back in the 1890s, when farmers were hedging, they were determining the price on seeds and other inputs and fertilizers that they would need to grow their products. They went to Chicago, to the stock exchange, to fight. And what the farmer said, and you can check US congressional reports, the farmers in 1890 said, we're frustrated. We can no longer control the price of production of our goods as farmers. So, Professor Nisanki, there is a purpose for speculation. Today, modern day, airlines speculate. If they're going to make X amount of flights in the year 2009, they need to know how much fuel will cost. But when you have commercial speculators, or those who are going to actually hedge and use the goods that they're speculating against, the commodities, what's happening is that the rich have become too rich. AIG, Goldman Sachs, these are not commercial speculators. These are speculators who are betting against you and taking advantage of the situation. They're just throwing money into futures markets at a credit, buying futures contracts, and then selling them before they have to receive oil, for example. And they're doing it across all commodities. So to finish, with respect to answer and finish, Uganda, I think your question was important, but I think you answered it yourself. You said, shouldn't we have holistic regulation? And you finished by saying that the markets need to be more transparent. Well, there are regulations within the spot markets and the commodities exchanges in Chicago, New York, and Dubai, and London. But the problem is that on the over-the-counter trades, OTC trades, which are on the internet, The Commodities Future Modernization Act of 2000 was a law that was slipped in the middle of the night in Congress when the presidency went from Clinton to President Bush. It was added to an appropriations bill. And that let companies, for example, like Enron, that bankrupted energy in the state of California, United States, they slipped that in. And it said that we don't need to know the positions. We don't need to have transparency. It became a loophole. The London loophole or the Enron loophole was the first loophole that they had. So what needs to happen is we need more transparency. Goldman Sachs, AIG, all these pension funds, these hedge funds, they're entering into the futures market through over-the-counter transactions on the internet. When the stock market closes in New York or in Chicago, they're still going on the internet right here. And they're trading, and no one knows their positions. Nobody knows the amounts. As I said, the rich are getting richer, so they're just taking that money and investing it. And while they're investing it, they're betting against all the governments of the world. Thank you.